He's aligned with RFK Jr. He's aligned with Elon Musk. He's aligned with all the people that would expose them. Which tells you there's a lot to expose. Speaking of exposed, let me jump to the next story, which is not as crazy, but still like 1A. If taking another attempt at Trump is 1, then 1A is this next story. This next story that you guys have to hear about. Where is it here? Let me pull it up. And here's the story. Breaking ABC News, the whistleblower we've been talking about swears under penalty of perjury that the Kamala Harris campaign received the questions ahead of time and directed the debate. The affidavit was signed on September 9th, the day before the debate. This is a major scandal. So you're telling me, just so I understand what you're saying right now, is that this affidavit was signed before the debate, and they let it happen. Think about that for a second. Did Trump know that going in? Did Trump let it happen so that it could be exposed later? Because I'm pretty sure he probably did. Looking at this affidavit, you guys can see it. Let me see if I can pull it up here better. So you guys can see the whole thing. Alright, so it says, I make these statements under penalty of perjury, which is a valid affidavit and without coercion of any kind. It was made in New York. That's very interesting. His name redacted, being duly sworn and hereby deposes and says that the opponent has read the foregoing affidavit and hereby vows the content thereof, and that the same is true to the deponent's own knowledge, and as to matters therein to be stated, to be alleged upon information and belief as those matters believes them to be true, sworn on the 9th day of September. So whoever it was, whoever that name that's being redacted, people knew this on the 9th, the day before the debate. Furthermore, he says, and you guys can see here, the affidavit has been signed and notarized September 9th to ensure that the allegations set forth are formally documented prior to the debate between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. So understand what you're reading. Somebody said, I know what they're going to do. I have knowledge and a forethought of what they're going to do. Let me go ahead and give this to my attorney in advance and say, hey, I'm not waiting till after. I'm telling you right now. In addition to notarizing this affidavit, I have sent a certified letter to myself on September 9th, which will remain unopened for future investigation. Smart guy. I'm not suicidal. I'm going to send this to myself, so I've got a copy, stamped copy, that I sent this on September 9th. I have also dispatched a Federal Express package containing the affidavit sent on September 9th and delivered to my residence on September 10th, which will remain unopened for potential investigative purposes. So this guy, woman, mailed themselves the affidavit that they notarized and signed, then FedExed it back to themselves, so they've got 2 stamped and dated copies of this thing unopened, so that as the investigation pursues. This is where it gets interesting. I hope you guys can see this. Okay. Furthermore, this is the big clause in this. Furthermore, I have sent a certified letter to Speaker Mike Johnson dated September 9th to establish a record that the correspondence was sent before the date commenced. Mike Johnson knew they were cheating. You have to know that Mike Johnson picked up the phone and said, hey, Don, you ain't going to believe this. Additionally, and this is the part you probably can't see. Let me see if I can raise it up higher. And do it like this. And move this up. You can't. Let me just keep trying to squish it up. Okay. You probably can't see this. If you can, I hope you can. Because what it says here on this page... Additionally, for further investigation, I have secretly recorded several conversations that will prove that the Harris campaign insisted upon not only the fact-checking of Donald Trump, but also insisted on what questions were not to be asked under any circumstances, or else the Harris campaign would decline to participate in the debate. She's done. She's absolutely done. It was a complete setup by ABC. But what they didn't know is that somebody on the inside knew it was a setup and already told everybody. The guy made copies, mailed one, FedExed another to himself, sent a letter to Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, the day before the debate. They knew, and I gotta believe at this point, unless Mike Johnson let it play out, which might have been even smarter not to tell Trump. If I was Mike Johnson, I think I would have held on to it. Maybe he did tell, maybe he didn't. But in any event, Mike Johnson, which means there's probably a few other senators and people who knew, walking in, this is a complete setup. We got him. We got the Democrats. We caught them red-handed cheating. She can't walk away from this. Whoever this person is, they better hope that nobody knows who they are, because at this point it's going to get extremely ugly. It's going to get so bad. Oh my God, is it going to get bad? Not from the media, because the media probably is going to try and bury it. ABC has no choice but to bury this information. It's over. It is completely over. You may be a Democrat, you may be a Republican, but you have to be just a complete libnut, certified nut job to think that anybody is going to vote for a cheater. You can look the other way all you want. Oh, it's no big deal. We got to beat Trump. Orange man bad. Nah, And now, on top of all this, as this comes out, understand what's going to happen. Every single Democrat in any sort of position is going to have to answer for this. Do you stand behind her? You're running for office, right? You stand behind a cheater? I would love for someone to stick a microphone in front of Chuck Schumer's face. I'd love to see someone stick a microphone in front of Elizabeth Warren or Hakeem Jeffries and say that we have information, we have it all. As Trump said, we got it all. At this point, we have it. You want to go tell her to quietly just skedaddle, or are we going to make a big deal of this and just destroy your party? No deals. No deals. At this point, they're done. It's too late for them to get someone else on the ballot, and you got a cheater and a liar as your candidate. Busted. Cold busted, less than 2 months before the election. Saw this one earlier. Happening now, the Kamala campaign is in big trouble. The whistleblower affidavit has been released showing that ABC colluded with the Kamala campaign, proving illegal collusion. This is textbook fascism and should result in Kamala Harris immediately being removed from the ballot. This should be resolved before the election so we know the exact extent before voting. At this point, how could anyone call themselves anti-fascist and vote for Kamala Harris? I'm going to go a step further. How can anyone call themselves an American and vote for Kamala Harris? I don't see how that's possible. How anyone who calls themselves an American, I know there's a lot of newcomers who probably don't care, but can you be a Democrat at this point and honestly look people in the eye and say, yeah, I know there's some stuff happening over here with assassinations. Oh, no big deal there. I know she's been caught cheating and lying. Even by my video at 7 was supposed to be at 7 p.m. tonight. I'm going to have to hold off on that. I'll do that tomorrow morning at 11. Hey, Ashley, tell the mods we're going live at 11:30 tomorrow morning. But at this point, how can you possibly vote or support Kamala Harris? I don't care if the orange man is bad. He didn't cheat in an election. ABC, the FCC's got to go and shut down your entire network at this point. You colluded to interfere with the election. That's a federal crime. And from here on out, there should never, ever be another debate on traditional news media. Not Fox, not CBS, none of them. F them. They're done. Everything has to go now in live format, probably in town hall format, and then just have the Democrat pick a moderator, have the Republican pick a moderator, then the two of them pick a third moderator, and then just have it live on X. Period.